Hello and welcome to the channel Seen with Chips. If you've been here before, then welcome back. If you haven't been here before, then welcome. And please consider subscribing and pressing the bell button so that you can be notified of videos that I'm making in the future. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a bit fed up this year. We're into June now, and the good weather just hasn't arrived yet. The good riding weather. I'm still going out. I'm still putting my heated grips on. I've taken the lining out of my leather jacket, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to put it back in again because it's so damn cold. I don't know what's gone wrong with the weather this year, but I wait all through the winter, this long winter that we have, waiting for the good riding weather, and it hasn't come yet, and we're halfway through June. Anyway, that's enough of a whinge. So, well, today, Jed at the Hog Farm Harley Davidson workshop sent me a video. He said that, I know you're not here, but he said that this one might be quite interesting. And what he's doing, he's rebuilding a brake caliper. And I've seen the video and it looks very interesting. So I think it might be something that you might find useful. So here we go, and let's have a look.
Yeah, Steve said there with the introduction, we're going to just have a quick look at rebuilding a brake caliper. This is particular one's a front brake caliper, but it's pretty applicable to a rear one as well. This particular one's got not got a good brake on it, and we think it's got a leak on it as well. The customer says it's not braking too well, so we're going to look at that. We'll show you how we split it. This particular one's off a 2014 breakout. Got to be a bit careful with the breakout front calipers, as I'll show you when I actually take it to pieces. Some customers, what they actually do is they take the wrong bolts out, which actually are the fixing bolts for the caliper to the fork leg, but actually one of them actually holds the caliper two halves together, and so you've got to be really careful that you don't split the caliper, because then there's a little o-ring inside which will show you, which is the one to be careful of. So yeah, we'll show you this. I'm trying to film it so that you can actually see what we're doing, so that if you can have a go yourself, it's not difficult. You can do it. Sometimes it's a good idea to put a new piston set in it if the caliper's getting quite old. They're not particularly expensive. You can buy them aftermarket now, as well as genuine. They all come in the same places these days, so it's not too difficult of a job. We'll make you this short video, and we're going to do it on the bench. I've got a white background. Hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit more detail that way. Hopefully that'll work for you. Yeah, so hopefully you can see this. It's a bit of a difficult one to film with us because I can't see what I'm doing the same. But this is the caliper that's off, orientated like that on the fork legs. These are the two that fit to the fork legs. Obviously you can see where the caliper splits in two, and this bolt holds it together. Also, this bolt holds it together. But when if you actually then take the brake pads out, you've only got one bolt that's holding it. So you need to be really, obviously, careful. You don't really need to take these bolts out if you're changing the brake pads that are inside it. So, you know, just be a little bit wary of that. Obviously, you can take out the things. Brake pads come out quite easy, and then split the caliper. We'll take the pads out first, and then you can actually see the new pistons, the old pistons. And I happened to look at the new pistons then when I said that. So obviously brake pads. Now, as daft as it is, look at this. That by just actually having it off and doing it, you can see that it's moving itself. So I'm just going to be really careful here. I'm actually not going to remove the pad straight away. I loosen that off. Probably a bit too quick there to show you. You wouldn't do this if you were changing the brake pads, obviously. You're watching this because we've said that you know, it's actually going to be rebuilding the caliper. So probably should have took the brake pads out first. Not that it really matters in this particular case. Come out, hasn't been out for a long while. There we go. So then we get the two halves. So then what you get and I'm hoping I'm going to show this in the right place. Let the camera focus. I'm hoping it has. There's a tiny little O-ring here. You can see that. I can get it out just with my fingernail. Probably can. No, I can't. So I'll just get a picker and do it. So obviously you can see the brake pad in. Come out. Yeah, well stuck in there. Just let me get something to assist. So these are on like a catch sort of thing. There you go. So you can see the two pistons, pads, slide them back. These actually hook under, but not all the calipers on all the models do that. These particular ones do. It's definitely been leaking. It's definitely bad. Yeah, we'll definitely be looking at that. So there's the little O-ring. There it is. There's a tiny little O-ring. I don't think you'll be able to see this, but I'm going to try and let it focus. There's actually a big chip out of it there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Don't know if I'm close enough. I'll come a bit closer. It's probably not going to show because of my fingers. Don't know if that'll help. But yeah, there's a chip out of it. So that's probably why it was leaking. Somebody's opened it in the past, and that's not always applicable on them all. Some of them have two O-rings, some don't. Okay, so when you get to sort of this part of it, it's actually then how do you remove the pistons? You get hold of them, do you pull them out? How do you go about doing it? I actually do it with compressed air. So what I do is I put some compressed air into the part of the caliper that they feed the oil through, and then just blow them out slowly. Be really careful doing it. I usually put them in a rag and do it. Okay, so you can see the two, you can see the thing. So I'll try and do it with no. Obviously, I'm going to put my hand over it. Just hopefully I'm in the right place for the camera there. Sorry about the door rattling in the back. So just a little bit. One's popped. A little bit too much, probably. See, one's popped. So I kind of need to hold that one into position a bit to get a bit of pressure on the other one. So the other one's stuck. Yeah, the other one's actually seized in. So it's coming slowly. I can feel them under my hands. I know. I do apologise that you can't actually see it, but I can't actually show you me doing it. That's the other one. So that was definitely seized in, that one. This one we'll probably be able to just push it out. So just hold it on again, that one, just into place a bit. I've leaned on it and pushed the other one back. That's it. So just a little bit of pressure, and then they're both out. You can see actually it's quite, well, you probably can't. It's actually full of gunk inside it. It's horrible. There you go. So yeah, it's not got a good service history by the look of that. The fluid's not been changed regularly enough. So we'll clean all this out now. We'll clean all that out, and then I'll come back. I'll show you. I don't need to show you cleaning it out, but just clean it all out. Same thing for the other half. Obviously, it's quite self-explanatory. The other half, and then obviously we've then got the brand new pistons to go in. Just swapping the clips. One thing I've got to show you on the other half, as I was just doing it, I thought I'd better show you that. Is obviously this is the half that the brake line connects to, and obviously this is where the two halves come together. So obviously if you blow down the feeder pipe, which is where I blew the other one out, you saw me blow out, the air just comes out of this. So what we do with this one is you put thumb on the connector part, and obviously the gun down where your brake line would go in, and then just sort of, and then you can get them out just the same. same principle. Again, I've got a seized one. Again, I'm just going to have to hold this in and just play with it a little bit just to get it actually out. It's always the case. That's obviously why it wasn't breaking. If you get one that pops out, hopefully it's filming this, if you get one, you can quite easily just put them back in again. Just hold that one in. I'm going to try and hold it with my hand and blow it. Nope, not quite got it. Nope, it's blown the other one again. So it's not, you know, if you get a stuck one, you're just going to have to play with them a little bit just to get it out. Obviously, you need the other one in, which is going to come out. It's coming out directly because that's the first one in the system, as to speak. Just sometimes a bit easier if you've got somebody helping you at this stage. Nope, still not got it. So yeah, I'm going to have to faff with it a little bit. It's just blown all brake fluid in my face, so I'm just going to clean my glasses. But I'll get it out. You can see the principle of it. Obviously, we've got to hold it, got to blow it, and then they'll come out. They will come out. It won't be seized to a point where you cannot get them out. You can't actually blow them through. I'll actually just show you this. So, see, that one comes out quite easy. It's a big slot. I've been filming this correctly. It's a big slot between the two. You can see the screwdriver going in. So you can't, it would be great if it was just a hole. You could just put the actual blowgun in and blow it out the other way. You can pull them out. I could actually just pull them out because obviously we're not going to reuse them. Sometimes obviously you don't put a rebuild kit in every time. If you've got something stuck, you know, really these are not actually that bad. They're just stuck. So I don't actually really want to damage it. I want to try to blow it out if I can. Then you're not going to damage any of these edges or anything. Definitely don't go in there prizing it or anything. They will come out a little bit persistence and they'll come out. I might just spray a little bit of lubricant on the outer seal because the outer seal gets really dry. Obviously the inner one doesn't. The outer one does. I put a bit of lubricant on that bit of WD. Just see if that helps us a little bit. And then we'll carry on. And I've actually cleaned the other one up. That's all clean now. You just use brake cleaner on it, cleaned it, blown it all through. So we're ready sort of for the next step there. You can see all the, I hope you can, all the little passageways are all clean now. Ready to put the new O-rings in. Okay, yeah, so I've got the other half out now, and it's probably a good point to show you this at this point. Hopefully the camera's focusing. This is a classic case of lack of servicing. You can see in the bottom of the piston that was struggling with there, it's absolutely full, and this will be water that's coagulated and reacted and just ends up in the bottom. Then it ends up blocking up the passageways. You can't probably see it. The passageway is completely just blocked up with it. So obviously that's why that piston wasn't coming out. It is the reason why really you do really need to change that brake fluid at least every 3 years. There is a simple tester that you can buy on eBay. They're only about £4 or £5, and you just stick it in your master cylinder, press the top, and it tells you if the fluid's good or bad. The only downside to the modern day bikes is that if you've got the ABS system, really and truly you need to bleed it with the computer to activate the ABS pumps. There'll be people out there that go, no, you don't need it, you don't need it, you don't need it. I can do it. Well, you can actually bleed the fluid from the master cylinder to the caliper, but then it misses the pump. And what we're seeing here is exactly what happens inside the ABS pump. You know, these guys that do it themselves, which is, you know, I commend, which is great. But you do need to be careful with your brakes. At the end of the day, it's super important. It saves your life. The ABS pump needs to be bled with the computer system. There's no other way of doing it. You have to purge the pump, and this is one of the reasons why well, I don't think this has ever been serviced since it were new, to be quite honest. The condition of this is bad, really bad. Okay, so we'll move on from that. That's enough of the preaching done. We'll move on, and we'll put the new pistons in and get everything sorted out in that sense. Okay, so we've got everything built up now. Sorry, we haven't got everything built up. We've got everything cleaned up. So obviously what we do now is no WD-40, nothing like that. What we've got in here is brake fluid, the fluid we're actually going to use, and then we're just going to put the seals back in. The bottom seal, which is obviously the bigger one of the two, is quite simple. It's quite square. Hopefully you can see that. It's quite a square, big one. I'm not going to show you every one of these because they do take quite 2 or 3 minutes to do one. So you've just got to play it in into the bottom groove first, making sure that you keep it square as you go along. It's pretty straightforward, really. There you go, and that's the simplest one. The other one, the top one, fluid again, is very thin and flatter. You've got to make sure you don't twist this one as you put it in. This is the one that you've just got to play with a little bit, just feed it in. I'm hoping you can see this. And then you always tend to end up with, like, if you can see that, there's like a big loop sort of thing. You just gotta play with that and just keep feeding it. It feels like it's, you see there's a loop. It feels like it's miles too big, but it actually isn't. It's just a case of working it in. There you go, see it's gone in now. So you can see now you've got the thin one, you've got the thick one. Now these are quite tight, so it's going to be tighter to get the new pistons back in again. So at the minute we've got the clips on them. The clips are purely to lock the brake pad in on this particular model, so there's not always these clips in them. So new piston, old piston, new piston, again, brake fluid on it, plenty of brake fluid on it, just so that it's absolutely, lubricated as much as you possibly can. The key really is, you can sometimes get them in by hand, but sometimes you need a bit of it, is to just get them as square as you possibly can. I'm hoping you can see it. So can you see now I'm not square? Obviously that's where the danger is. So I like just to feed them and look at them square, get them somewhat square, and sometimes they'll just push in. There you go, so it's gone in. That's pretty much it. You do the same thing for all 4 of them. Obviously then, once you've got them all together, mega clean down on the outside, even a bit of brake cleaner again, and then we'll put the clips in. So I'll build the other 4 up. You don't need to see all 4 of them. It's exactly the same 4 times over, and then we'll put the clips in. Okay, so we've got the pistons back in again. Put the clips back in. Like I said, on a lot of them, they don't all actually have the clips in. So they just clip in and out. Just quite a simple thing to do. Probably at this point, we'll just put the brake pads back in. So these have the hooks on the back, and they just clip in like so. And like so, just saves messing about. Now, obviously on this particular one, on the breakout one, front caliper on the breakout, has the O-ring, and I've put the little O-ring back in. Make sure, obviously, you don't forget to put that in. That's the old one, there, and the new one's in. So you see it's quite a deep thing. Again then, nothing needed, placed together. What's a good idea is, obviously, this is the bolt that fixes it. What I normally do is actually put a bolt in the front location one. I'll use the brake one to locate it to start with. So that's the brake pad one. Not nipping anything up. Sorry, I'm not sure if you're in that shot there. I'm making sure everything's aligned more than anything together. Which obviously 2 of them will all line it. And you just obviously got to be careful that you've not split the thing. Get rid of some of the old paint. So we're aligned on the centre. Maybe just snug the centre one up a little bit first. It's coming down. I shouldn't really do that on there because it's probably shaking the camera. And then snug that one down, and then your brake pads are right at the back. They're all pretty much the same calipers. All of them are pretty generally the same. So put that on the bike now, and then we'll bleed it through. I'm sure you all know how to do that. Just bleed it through. But then I'll put this on the computer and bleed the ABS system. I'm actually going to bleed the front and rear and everything, because looking at this front caliper, I don't think it's ever had a brake service in its life. I don't think brake fluid service anyway. we'll just have a general cast over the bike. If there's anything else, we'll look at that. So there's the old pistons, the old seals, all still full of all the coagulated water and lack of servicing. So we'll give them back to the guy, and hopefully this will fix his brake issue. Hope this has helped you. Not a long video. Hope it's helped you a little bit. It's something not to be frightened of. But yeah, I hope it helps you. Shows you what's inside them if you've never seen it. Yep. If you've got any suggestions or anything that you want us to have a look at, if we're doing it on a particular job, hopefully we could film it for you. Sometimes it's not quite so easy to film and to do it, but we'll give it a go. Hope that helps you. Subscribe to Steve, help his channel along a little bit there. Thanks very much.
Well, I don't know about you, but I found that very interesting, and I think it's something that we probably don't do that often, but if you didn't want to buy a new brake caliper, then you can rebuild your own and put the new pistons in. But it looked very interesting. Hope you found it useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.